I'm Carolyn Gaeta right now on a very juicy deadbeat. A local child support case that spreads beyond state lines.
And at some point in time, he was living in South Carolina.
And it gets even more complicated when suddenly a murder is involved.
She's dead.
Okay. The mother of the child is
The
dead.
mother just died 2
Tuesday.
days ago. She was murdered.
Tuesday.
Real-life drama unfolds in Jefferson County Child Support Court. Our cameras are giving you an uncensored look inside. Real cases with real people you may even know. Court is now in session on Deadbeat. I'm Carolyn Gaeta with Deadbeat, the show that fully exposes the issue of unpaid child support right here in Jefferson County. We'll have complete coverage of that interstate child support case involving murder coming up. But first we go to court with Judge Erica Lee Williams, who's threatening jail time for this man, who's fallen behind on his child support.
Deshaun Bullitt.
Judge, it's a pleasure to see you today.
It's a pleasure to see you. I haven't seen you in a while.
Yes, it is.
All right, so this is conditional discharge.
Yes.
Please order amended to reflect. Good deal. 365 conditionally discharged for the next 2 years. That's your sentence. Do you understand what that means?
Yes.
What does that mean?
If I don't contain my premises, I'll do 365.
All right, but you're doing great. So you have, what is he paying a week, Mr. Esselman? 79
It's
or
supposed
80?
to be 90.
90? Okay. All right, very good. And with that, you're good to go. We'll get you to have a seat over here. We'll get you paperwork and get you out of here in momentarily, okay? Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Esselman. It's a pleasure to see you.
Yes.
Attorney Nicole Compton, I'm still learning the legal lingo. What is CD?
CD means conditionally discharged. So you'll see in some of the cases where they'll say 365 days to serve, conditionally discharged for 2 years. That means as long as you make your payments, then you don't ever have to serve that 365 days. It's what they call shelf time. It's sitting on the shelf or hanging over your head for those 2 years. So if you miss a payment, if you end up back, if you get new charges or new non-support charges, then you could potentially serve that 365 days anytime it happens within those next 2 years.
Is it successful?
For most people it is, because you know I have this time hanging over my head. If I mess up, I've already pled guilty, I've already been sentenced. Essentially, it's your sentence on hold. So for most people, they don't want to serve that time. They'll do what's right. However, I've seen people get revoked and actually have to serve that time.
There's much more to come on this edition of Deadbeat. Next, a local man who's accused of not paying child support to his out-of-state ex. What will happen next when she winds up murdered? Coverage of that real-life case inside and outside of the courtroom. Next on Deadbeat.
Deadbeat is sponsored by Injury Care Chiropractic, Brown Mackie College, Wi-Fi Rides.
Carolyn Gaeta back with you with more Deadbeat. This is the show that's shining the spotlight on unpaid child support right here in Louisville, Kentucky. These are real cases with real people in your neighborhood. Next, the case of Mr. Lees, who has an order to support his kids who are now out of state.
Hello, Mr. Lees.
How you doing?
Okay, Mr. Lees, you're on the docket today. You're charged with felony criminal non-support.
Mm-hmm.
You have a $5,000 bond.
$5,000 bond. Why is that so
You ain't paying
high?
any child support.
I wasn't aware that I was supposed to pay any child support.
You know, if you could find $750 to pay as child support, then ROR.
I can do that.
When can you get it done?
Tonight? Now, if you can.
Well, see, I'm not sure that we can do that. The weekend is going to be a problem for you, right? Because the money has to be paid as child support.
Well, is there any way you can set that up to happen?
Well, I'm not loaning you the money. I mean,
Can I call my wife, have her bring the money down and pay it today?
Well, I don't think is she in E-Town?
Yeah, she's in E-Town.
Okay. I don't think time-wise that it's going to be possible for her. All right, Mr. Hill, come on up here for a second.
That's ridiculous.
I'm not real sure I believe him again. I mean, it's not important that I believe him. But he says he has the ability to pay $750 as child support. Now, just mechanically, I don't know how we can't get it paid at the child support office. We can't, and I guess it has to be paid at the child support office over on Ali. Is that true?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's the only way. We don't have a place in this building to accept child support payments?
No, we don't.
All right. Now, okay. Pay attention, Mr. Lees. You may be upset, but we're going to do something. And Mr. Hill, again, if you have an issue with it, we can talk about it at a later date, but we're going to try this on for size this time. Okay, I'm going to say you have a new bond. Are you listening?
Yes.
It's going to be $7,500, 10%, which means $750. Actually, it's going to be $775 to get you out of jail.
Okay.
Now, the money, and you're saying your current wife is going to bring that money down here.
Yes.
All right. Now, is your current wife employed? I mean, I'm just trying to figure
Yes.
out. Are you committed? Are you committed? And can you commit your wife to this proposition?
Yes.
Hang on. That the money that you are posting as bail will be used as child support.
Yes, I can.
Yeah, this is a little difficult.
Right. As long as there's a provision that the bond can be assigned for child support, I don't think that would be a problem, Your Honor.
Better be very nice to your wife and make sure that she says she's down with this, because otherwise you're going to jail.
I do
Right.
it pretty good.
All right. Bond to be assigned to child support. Okay, and we're going to get Ms. Panter here, and we'll find out what the story is. Right?
Okay.
We're going to get her here. Is that correct, Mr. Still?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because, he's got some issues here. All right, so if your wife shows up at the door, you're going to get out of jail.
That would be wonderful.
Okay, we'll see you then.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Judge.
2 weeks later, this case would be back in Judge Sean Delahanty's court, and it would quickly take a turn for the worse.
I doubt that she's going to tell you,
She's dead.
okay, the mother of the child is
The
dead.
mother
She was
just
murdered
died 2
Tuesday.
days ago. She was murdered.
Tuesday.
The twist that nobody saw coming in this case, a murder, and the question of what to do next when Deadbeat returns.
Deadbeat is sponsored by Injury Care Chiropractic, Brown Mackie College, We-Fi Rides.
All right, so if your wife shows up at the door, you're going to get out of jail.
That would be wonderful.
Okay, see you then.
All right, thank you.
Carolyn Gata back with you with more Deadbeat, the show that takes you inside Jefferson County Child Support Court. And we continue our coverage now of an interstate child support case involving this man, Mr. Lees. He says he's always paid his child support, and wait until you see what else he has to report to the judge. Back to court now with Judge Sean Delahanty.
Okay, well, give me the simplified version of this. Where is the child today?
He's with the grandparents.
He's with the grandparents in Kentucky.
Okay.
The child, for a while, it seems like, resided in South Carolina with a third party who is just recently deceased. It also looks like there may be, though I haven't seen it yet, but there may be a South Carolina order for child support payment. If it is at all possible, I would like to avoid my clients having to pay double in 2 states for the same time period to either one
Has
or
he
two
been,
different
is there like an outstanding warrant for him in South Carolina?
Not to my knowledge, Judge.
So we don't know that exists, and I don't understand, has he ever become aware of a order from South Carolina that says he's to pay child support?
Yeah, no, Judge, he
And
was
who,
just...
and who are you, ma'am? All right, come up here. You're the current wife. Yes. Come on up. What do you know about this?
Okay, since 2012, I'm not sure exactly which day that
It
Ms.
doesn't matter.
Panter had came to try to get the benefits of the child support from Mr. Lees.
Your husband, right?
Yes,
This
which
is your
in fact
husband
he is
now.
not a deadbeat.
He's your husband now.
Yes, he's been my husband for going on 3 years.
All right.
We have gotten, we have sent Carol, which is the mother, which Josh resided in South Carolina while Angel Panther was trying to get child support
hang
on Josh.
I need you to stop for a second.
Okay.
In a court order was out of Kentucky that was signed, it looks like in 2000, the year 2000. The year 2000, which had been, if he's 15 going on 16, he was 1 or 2. So once the order is signed, right, the obligation is there to pay the child support, regardless of where the child is.
Actually, he was in his custody.
I had him, I had full custody then,
From where?
in 2000,
For how long?
2001.
Okay.
Until she took him to South Carolina.
And then somehow, but you had actual custody of your child
Yes, I did.
for a couple of years.
I went through court counseling for 1 year. I got out of jail. I did a 2-year sentence in 98 to 2000. I got out. State ordered me to go through therapy and counseling for 1 year. I did.
Okay.
My children were then at that point in what do you call it, a foster home.
Foster home?
Mm-hmm. And I had weekend visits. I was seeing them through a social worker.
Okay.
And I was seeing a counselor at 7 counties through that whole year, through 2000. Once I complied with everything, did all my counseling and therapy and the testing that I was court ordered to do, at the end of the 1 year, they awarded me full custody. So then I had them for like 6 months, and she shows up out of the blue one day with police at my daycare and takes my kids away.
And that was the last time you saw them
It's the
until...
last time I seen them. They
And
went
they
to South Carolina.
Okay. Now what happened to your other son?
About a month after she went to South Carolina, he got in trouble for some gang violence. He got put in a boys' home.
All right. How old is he?
Jacob then was like
How old is he?
11 or 12. Now he's 22.
Okay, so we're only talking about the youngest child.
Just Joshua. I didn't see him
Something's
again.
got to happen here. And of course, I doubt that she's going to tell you,
She's dead.
okay, the mother of the child is
The
dead.
mother
She was
just
murdered
died 2
Tuesday.
days ago. She was murdered.
Tuesday.
Yes.
This
Yes.
past Tuesday.
South Carolina.
She was
Like 3
murdered.
days ago?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And where is the child today?
And
Now he's brought back with the grandmother.
with the
now.
grandmother, it's been a terrible
It's
situation
crazy.
that I've sat back and
I'd say
watched.
so.
Yeah.
All right. Now this is sort of interesting. We're going to need to see you back here, Mr. Miller.
Yes, sir.
But here's one of the things, Mr. Miller, you might want to think about this, and Mr. Lees. Okay. So now, Mr. Lee says, I paid Mom cash money, and I've got these receipts.
Yes, Judge.
Now it's sort of without Mom to say, no, he didn't.
Yes, Judge.
It makes it a little bit difficult
the-
for prosecutor.
There is going to be issues of proof involved here that we're
And in
going to
every
need to
case.
work through. In
I'm
every
just
case,
saying
yeah.
that this is not as bad as I thought it was. So gather up all of the receipts of any sort that you ever had, of anything that you ever gave to the mother of the child.
Well,
And how did
I
mother
have them
die?
all.
It's a terrible. She got really strung out on heroin, and she was like 250 pounds and dropped down to 109 and was just living in and out of hotels and everything. She was never really stable.
Right.
And they got into a really bad fight. And it's on the news. You can look at it. It's in South Carolina, Anderson. And at 9 a.m. on Tuesday, they got in a really bad argument outside
Who's
of
they?
her. Kyle Hand, I do believe his name is. That was her boyfriend.
Gotcha.
And her name's Carol Rodzinski. I
And
put
so
the
it was-
notation in the folder for proof, but
it was
he
an
ran her
investment.
over, and
Ran her over. Give us the.
it's just a really rough case right now. So
It sounds like it. And I bet the boy's not having a good
All
time.
my
either.
kids. I got 3. Well, there's 3 kids involved between her and me, and the little girl's not mine, but the 2 boys are. So
All right. Well, I'll tell you, we're going to take this up on the 27th, the 29th,
29th, Judge.
and we're going to need to see you back here, Mr. Miller.
Yes, Judge.
All right.
thank you all.
Oh, you're welcome.
thank you.
Attorney Nicole Compton, you don't see murder and child support usually in the same courtroom.
No, and as I watched it, I was wondering, usually you see drugs that are involved that end up making people not pay their child support. This is a totally different time when drugs and murder could stop somebody from paying child support.
And this is real drama.
This is real drama, but hey, that's what we've promised. This is what real life court looks like, and these are issues that come before judges.
Let's go right now to Ashley Anderson. She's outside the courtroom with the defendant's wife.
I'm with Regina Lees from Elizabethtown, Kentucky, and you're actually the spouse of Michael Lees who just had his hearing. Can you explain the situation? It sounds very complicated and now tragedy is involved as well.
Yes, so much tragedy in this. I mean, we've gone through so much with the kids and the family, but things are getting better, and not always, people are not always deadbeat. My husband's always taking care of his kids, though, regardless. It didn't matter. He paid for them, did everything he could for them, so to give them a really, really good life. So now he's got to step up and do even more for them now that mom's gone. So, but as far as my cases, I've had years of experiences with deadbeat men. I know the true definition of one. I have 3 kids total. My first kid's father, he's great. I can say that he does his job. The second one, as soon as you put a bill to him, he runs. So I've probably received $7 total from him. So it's not always about the money and the support. It's about the time that you spend with them. So things in life aren't free.
Stay tuned, there's more Deadbeat to come. Next, it's back to court with Judge Erica Lee Williams, who's found that the threat of jail time can work wonders with deadbeat dads.
Then they're going to recommend 365 to serve.
Deadbeat is sponsored by Injury Care Chiropractic, Brown Mackie College, WeFi Rides.
Carolyn Gata back with you with more Deadbeat, the local reality show right here in Kentuckiana that takes you inside child support court. Our next case, Christopher Johnson, who's about to enter a plea. Back to court now with Judge Erica Lee Williams.
Hi, Mr. Johnson.
How you doing?
All right, your charge has been amended down to misdemeanor non-support. You're prepared to enter in a plea today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, is this your signature here?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you read over all of these questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand them?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand what you're doing here today?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're doing so voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand that by entering in this plea, you're waiving your right to a trial?
Yes, ma'am.
And you are waiving your right to appeal to a higher court?
Yes, ma'am.
You're represented by counsel. This is your attorney here?
Yes, ma'am.
And you are satisfied with her representation?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir. How do you plead to misdemeanor non-support?
Guilty.
Stipulations, counsel?
Yes, Judge.
All right, so we're going to come back on that September 29th date for sentencing. And that's going to be to look at your timely weekly payments, okay?
Yes,
if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, the county will recommend 365. If not, then they're going to recommend 365 to serve, okay?
Yes,
we'll have to talk about that then, but hopefully you'll do what you're supposed to do. Looks like you've been doing a good job so far, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir, just have a seat for me. Right over here, we'll get your paperwork and get you out of here.
And the judge's threat of jail time seems to have worked for this guy, too.
Okay. Good deal. So this is a great note here that you're doing better and helping.
Yes.
So we're going to defer sentencing then until September 15th, give you an opportunity to continue. You have $125 a week that you're paying, and it sounds like you're doing a great job with that. So we'll come back September 15th at 1, and everything should go smoothly that day as well.
Yes,
okay?
ma'am.
Very good. Thank you, Ms. Porter.
Nicole, Erica Lee Williams is cheerleading for my man, Jermaine.
Yes, well, he's done an excellent job of getting back on track. She gave him a second chance, and he actually took it.
Yay.
That's what we want. We want the kids to be able to get the money, and we want the guys or the non-custodial parents to stay out of jail, to continue to make their payments, and to be productive citizens of society. Sounds like in this case, court actually worked, and he deserves, at this point, to be praised for his accomplishments. Not for what he should have been doing anyway, which is paying his child support, but for heeding her advice and doing well and staying out of jail this time.
So spirit fingers for Jermaine. And that's going to wrap up our Deadbeat docket for the day. We want to hear from you. If you have a story about your loser ex, go to Facebook, Deadbeat TV, upload us a video, or tell us about your story on the DL. You can private message us. For Nicole Compton, I'm Carolyn Gata, and we'll see you on the next edition of Deadbeat.